Now, let me first introduce a celebrity who suddenly got young overnight. Some of you might recognize him. This is actor Jet Li, who is known for playing his role in Shaolin Temple. He is a martial artist. So last summer, Kung Fu master actor Jet Li posted photos from his hospital bed. He joked that his hardware was broken and that he was sent in to the hospital for repairs. But then by October this year, he looked like a completely different person, younger, healthier, almost reborn. So people began whispering, did he get his organs replaced? He denied it, even showing his bare torso to prove that he had no surgical incisions. But people weren't convinced because overnight he was jumping around like a kid. Now, not just Jet Li, there were two other actors, Sammo Hung, I believe from Hong Kong, and then a former news anchor, Ni Ping. Miss Ni was seen publicly as an old lady who couldn't even walk on her own. She needed help from her assistant, but now she appears rejuvenated and was climbing a mountain in Beijing. And these celebrities all showed the same sudden reverse aging, and it was so dramatic that people couldn't stop talking. Just as Chinese social media was drowning in conspiracy theories, a bombshell dropped. A series of videos promoting anti-aging services for the rich and famous went viral. Now enter Yu Wenlong, the woman standing at the center of the storm. She is a self-made billionaire in the medical aesthetics business, meaning cosmetic surgery. She claims she can help the rich and powerful stay young with what she calls youth blood. And she didn't whisper, she bragged. So in one video, she claims that at 55, she has the body of a young woman, healthier than her 25-year-old boyfriend. And her boyfriend even held up her hand to the camera, saying her skin was as soft as a 20-year-old. Okay, so here's this woman's picture over the years. She posted on her website, I think starting from the top left corner all the way to the lower right corner. I think that the first one, I think when she was 31 years old, I can't really tell the age, but it was in the early 30s, all the way to when she was 47 years old. I think she looked better in that black and white photo. At least she looked like a real woman, a natural woman. So she said in a longer video, there was another video that went viral on the internet. It was 7 minutes long, so I couldn't show you the entire video, but she said in that video, said, I'm 55 and still have my period. I can extend menstruation to age 80. That's our black tech. I change my blood every month. Each session costs 1.5 to 20 million. She even claims that some women became pregnant in their 60s. Here's how the young blood works, according to her. So she explained the technology like this. She said, we extract micro vesicles and young functional proteins from young men under 21. And she insists that each donor produces only a tiny amount, and you need the combined materials from many young men to treat a single client. And so her so-called blood replacement therapy is not drawing blood and using it directly. She says the blood must be extracted and processed, meaning this process requires massive pools of young blood donors. And she proudly claims her company owns its own blood bank and has spent over 10 billion renminbi acquiring a blood product pharmaceutical company, all to secure young men's blood components from donors aged 17 to 21. So suddenly the puzzle pieces clicked into place for the public. Now they understand why China's blood banks are always running low. These anti-aging treatments depend on youth blood. And in recent years, China has been aggressively pursuing young people to donate blood nationwide. Examples: college and high school students forced to donate or risk not receiving diplomas, parents of elementary school students told to donate blood, or their children won't get good report cards, and local governments launching huge voluntary donation campaigns across the country. And people used to think this was for wartime preparation. I mean, I even believe so. Now the dots connect. Every class must discuss the social value of donating blood. Schools now push WeChat and Douyin content on blood donations, and blood center experts give lectures on campus. So over time, they've turned voluntary blood donation into what state media calls a warm and meaningful sight on campus. So this woman says it's all legal. And she said, we're a huge institution and publicly listed. If this were illegal, someone would have extorted us already. She also claims, she said, we haven't fully gone mainstream yet, but European tycoons have come to them, have gone to them to replace their blood a lot. And she also acknowledged that her hospitals conduct organ transplants as well as treat cancer patients. And she named two of her major shareholders. Number one is Malaysia's richest man, Robert Guo. And number two is a subsidiary of Haier Group, China's electronic giants. So if true, that would be explosive. Now, here's the strangest part. These sensational videos are not censored, not moved, not even throttled. If in China, when something this sensitive goes viral unchallenged, it usually means someone far above is allowing it. But let me ask you, isn't it strange that videos on a topic this sensitive, organ transplants, young blood, anti-aging tech, European tycoons are allowed to stay online in China? Some people believe this is no accident at all. The regime wants these videos to go viral. They say these videos are CCP's marketing campaign, a way to quietly promote China's new longevity industry. And so they say that the Jet Li video, or Jet Li's sudden return to youth videos, were not an accident, but a strategic advertisement. Why? Because this industry is not meant for ordinary people. It's built for the rich and the powerful globally. Think about it. If China offers youth their young blood and blood products, if China offers longevity, if China offers a way for global elites to stay powerful forever, why wouldn't they come? So this becomes a new tool of influence, a new kind of soft power, except it's not soft at all. So some believe this is how the CCP secures loyalty among the world's elites. And this woman's boldness, her confidence, her uncensored videos, they all suggest one thing. She believes she has protection from the highest level. Her backing, corporate, regulatory, political, leads straight to the biggest shadow of all, the CCP top leadership itself. Now, people suddenly realize when Xi Jinping talked about human living to 150, he wasn't joking. He wasn't fantasizing or anything. He was probably advertising. Now, just as people were beginning to question Miss Yu's claims, another video hit the Chinese internet. And this one sounded like a full-blown horror movie. And on October 14th, a man who spent years undercover inside Southeast Asian scam compounds posted a live stream that stunned us. He introduced himself as an anti-fraud blogger or investigator who has been in close contact with those scam parks in Southeast Asia for a long time. And so for safety, he covered his face while delivering the news. He revealed what people call the darkest secret behind the CCP's longevity project. Okay, so according to him, one major group of trafficking victims in these scam parks are women, especially nightclub workers and prostitutes. These women are easily targeted and are often the most miserable victims. Whether they are trafficked to Cambodia or to Mewadi in Myanmar or other parts of the world. Once in one of those scam parks, Young pretty women are forced into sexual exploitation, serving as escorts and prostitutes. But what happens to women over 40 is even more horrifying. They're forced to sit in front of computers to run online scams. And at the same time, they're forced to become surrogate mothers, not through natural pregnancy, through direct embryo implantation, IVF style. Why? Because natural pregnancy produces one child. But with IVF, these women can be forced to carry 2 or 3 embryos at once. And this, he says, feeds into a shocking business known as, I have trouble saying it, the piglet baby industry chain. It's an industry designed to exclusively produce babies for profit. One piglet baby, he claims, sells for 3 million renminbi. If a woman is forced to carry 3, that's 9 million renminbi a year for the traffickers. 9 million renminbi is about 1.2 million US dollars. The babies are then sold to nearby biotech parks. And let's be honest, biotech parks in Cambodia and Myanmar, we all know they aren't run by the locals. These are Chinese-run facilities placed deliberately next to the scam zones to process these young beings as quickly as possible. So according to this masked blogger or whistleblower, I should say, these babies are not used for bone marrow transplants. I mean, their bone marrows are used. So they're processed into what he calls regenerative stem cells, which are then infused into wealthy clients. To make someone look younger, he says, you don't replace organs. You just inject stem cells with growth factors extracted from these babies. So what happened is medical people drill into the baby's spines, extract bone marrow, and cultivate blood-forming young stem cells, which contain the highest level of growth factors. And babies produce the most potent blood-forming stem cells. And once sold, these babies are kept in a room, not crawling on the floor, but placed in glass boxes like lab mice. Only during cleaning are they taken out to crawl for a moment. And then comes the profit. So they draw bone marrows from these babies every 6 months. 1 tube of bone marrow yields 3 tubes of regenerative stem cells. Each tube sells for 5 million renminbi. So that means 1 tube of bone marrow generates 15 million renminbi. And that's about 2 million US dollars every 6 months. And they said that only celebrities and business tycoons can afford it. He says, most people have no idea that this scam exists. And he swears that what he described is only a tiny part of what actually happens. So the public reaction has been pure horror. Online, Chinese netizens exploded in outrage. I mean, this video is posted outside China. This video isn't posted on the mainland Chinese social media. So people call this pure evil. Others said worse. Now, you know that these scam parks in Southeast Asia are not isolated criminal dens. They're intertwined with the Belt and Road Initiative. And in fact, CCP's own Global Times, its own official mouthpiece, published an article in 2019 with this title. Okay, the title says, Chinese entrepreneurs tell their Belt and Road stories, building a special zone in Myanmar's wasteland. And the article openly praises KK Park, one of Mewadi's most notorious scam park. It's called the KK Park. That article has since been deleted. So recently, many Chinese discovered tracking devices hidden in the soles of their new sneakers. People were terrified. So the person who posted this issued a warning. He said, if you find a tracker in your shoe, someone is following you. And if someone is tracking you, they may want your organs or your life. So people connected this mysterious shoe tracker to the missing youth, right? Because sneakers are mostly bought by students. So no wonder so many young people have vanished I think about it. Young blood is openly advertised, and those missing kids, maybe the blood banks. Now, the tracker scandal made people think of something even more sinister: China's smart school uniforms. Since 2018, many primary and secondary schools in China require students to wear uniforms with RFID tracking chips sewn inside. These chips monitor when the kids enter and leave school, their identity, their purchases, even their real-time movements, all sent directly to parents and teachers. Now, parents are now paranoid. They said if bad people get this information, our kids could be taken. And the truth is, China's missing children and teenagers have surged in recent years into millions annually. Shoes with trackers, uniforms with chips, children disappearing, young blood in high demand, babies born as human spare parts, and Xi Jinping casually talking about living to 150. What can I say? At the end of the day, this isn't about technology. It's not about longevity. And it's not even about politics. It's about humanity, what we allow, what we ignore, and what we will become.